In this video, we're going to go over all the steps that I did to create $10,000 in monthly recurring revenue in my lead generation agency and how you can do it too. Okay, step one, what is an agency? I see this word thrown out a lot by a lot of people in the industry, but no one really understands what it means. An agency, simply put, is you providing a service for someone else. So think about anyone that's doing work for you, like literal work, they are an agency owner. So if you have a bookkeeper, they're managing your books, that's an agency. If you have a photographer, and if you have a wedding and you're, hiring a photographer, they have a photography agency, right? They might have their contractors or their employees helping you with setup the day of. So an agency, simply put, is a done-for-you service provider. They might have a lot of contractors, they might be a one-woman team, but they're someone that is providing a service for you. Okay, so the number one tip that I recommend to scale a $10,000 per month agency is hire a mentor. I cannot emphasize this enough. I was trying to start a business for 5+ years on my own. You can look at my Instagram graveyard. I had so many Instagram accounts that were just empty. I didn't know where to start. And there was a point where it was really like I was binging YouTube University, but it wasn't working. So I had to hire a mentor. And I'm sure you could do it on your own to have a $10,000 per month agency, but it's just going to take you longer. I waited 5 years before I ever hired someone, and within 10 months, I was able to scale to $100,000. So you always want to hire a mentor that has been where you wanted to be and hire them. Make the investment because you're going to see that return super fast. Okay, 2. 99.9% of your job in the beginning when you have an agency is prospecting. Prospecting simply means you're going out there and you're finding leads that are a good fit for your services. I think a lot of times when you're an agency owner, no matter what your service, you get caught up in the fancier stuff like ads, branding, PR, but that doesn't matter. That's not going to help you make $10,000 this month. The only thing that you need to do is prospect. Prospect means you need to go out there and actually talk to your ideal client. So I'll use the bookkeeper example. If you're a bookkeeper and you have nothing, you have no clients, you basically, without clients, you don't really have a business, right? It's just a hobby. But if you don't have clients, you want to go out and talk to your ideal client as much as possible. And that means prospecting, sending Instagram DMs, sending emails, sending Facebook messages. This is what no one on the internet will tell you because they want you to think that it's all content-based as an agency owner, but really it's about prospecting, sending DMs, actually interacting with your ideal clients. So that's 2. You want to prospect for 99% of your time. Every day when you wake up, you want to be sending DMs, you want to be talking to your ideal client so that you can get on sales calls with them, close them, and create more services. 3, to creating a $10,000 per month agency is you actually will hit a limit. If you're working a 9 to 5 like I did when I had my agency, you will understand that you don't have enough hours in a day to handle like 5 to 10 clients doing the work for them while handling your 9 to 5. And if I was going through my master's degree at the time, so I need to hire fast. I believe when I got my first 2 clients, so I was making $4,000 a month, I was like, okay, I need to hire. This is really important, especially if you're based in the United States. I recommend hiring internationally, especially because it will help you protect your profits. I think a lot of times there's a lot of bad rap on hiring internationally, hiring someone that's not from the United States. And I disagree. I think you should definitely hire outside of the United States to help with contracting, help with keeping your costs low, your expenses low. My first contractor, when I was making $4,000 a month, I didn't have a life, right? I was getting off my 9 to 5, working, doing implementing the work that my clients were hiring me for. And by 10, 11 p.m., I was exhausted. I barely had time to eat. So at that point, I was like, I need to hire a contractor. I looked at people from Singapore, from the Philippines, from India, from the United States as well, even from Canada. And what I noticed is doing for lead generation, it can be monotonous work. So you want someone that's going to be on their computer for 5 to 6 hours a day with good Wi-Fi, and you want to really do a trial period. With contractors, you want to make sure that they have a 30-day trial period to make sure that they're delivering their results. I definitely don't recommend hiring someone for 6 months, 3 months when you don't even know anything about them, when you've never seen the quality of their work, especially if they're coming from a website like Upwork or Fiverr. You want to see how they're doing before you, create a longer term relationship with them. So in terms of that, you want to hire really fast. If you're very busy, you have a lot of things going on. Basically, as soon as you get a client, you want to make a hire, especially if you're doing a lot of front-loaded agency work. When I say that, I mean like if you're a website designer and it takes like 12 hours to design a website, it's definitely more, but you're gonna need someone who's going to take up some of those hours for you so that you can go out and keep prospecting. This goes back to the first point. You want to continue prospecting, because what I see, the trap that a lot of agency owners fall into is they're so overwhelmed by clients that they're not making any more money. So they stay capped, right? So if I had not hired my contractor, I would have stayed at $4,000 a month, losing my mind because I didn't have any more time to sell. When you hire a contractor, you are able to give them the work that your clients hired you for, and then you as the CEO are going to focus on selling all day, every day, right? You can go back to prospecting to making more sales. So that's how I went from like that $4,000 month to eventually that $8,000 month to the $10,000 month. And then the next part I want to say is you cannot get lost in your clients because you have to focus on your own business. Like I mentioned, it's very easy to plateau with your sales, but I think with a lot of agency owners, and I was at fault with this too, I was always at the point where it's like, okay, do I take care of my clients or do I make more sales today? And the answer is you have to do both, but prioritize your sales. Delegate as much as you possibly can to your contractors. So when you're caught in the middle of serving and selling, you want to sell first so that you can keep your business running. And in the meantime, serving your clients through the contractors that you're hiring. Lastly, I want to mention how you make $10,000 and also keep $10,000 is a lot of agency owners, you'll see on the internet, they make like millions of dollars in their companies and their profit is nothing. I really want to emphasize this. I was talking to someone a couple of years ago and they made $1 million with their agency, but they had no profit, they had no savings, and it's because, for example, if you charge $1,000 a month for your service and your contractor, you paid them $900 a month, you're not making any money. It's not even worth running your business at that point because you need so many clients just to pay your bills, right? So I always recommend having a lot of room for profit. So for example, with my services, what I was charging about $2,000 a month, and I would pay my contractors closer to $1,000 and I would give them commission, right? So you want to keep your profit margins in line. Make sure that whatever you're charging can cover your contractor and also your expenses. So you want to keep that in mind when you're scaling to the $10,000 a month, because it's so easy to make sales when you're just focused on sales. But if you're not protecting your profit, it's going to be hard to sustain this business. That is how I created a $10,000 per month agency. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know what questions you have about building your agency. I'll answer in the chat.